Well, welcome everybody back to the third episode of the Subliminal Show. Today I have the honor of sitting down with Charlie. What does Charlie do? That is a very good question. He does a lot of things. He currently is out in LA participating in film school. He is in the middle of working on a lot of projects, which is included but not limited to directing, acting, various YouTube work, doing skits, and other productions over there. It's hard to narrow it down what exactly you're up to, but is there anything you want to add to that list?
Hello Philip, my name is Charlie Sitarski. I am a director, actor, and writer in Los Angeles, California, United States of America, located on the continent of North America. My favorite filmmakers are Quentin Tarantino, Taika Waititi, and Denis Villeneuve. I recently finished shooting a short film called Disaster at Gilbert's, and in November I'm directing my thesis film, Melatonin Dreams. Happy to be here, and yay gaming, give it up for gaming woo.
Thank you, Charlie, for that lovely introduction of yourself. So what are we going to be talking about today? Today we will be discussing more Charlie's recent decision, to kind of take a step away from gaming. But we're going to kind of ask questions around why he's kind of made that decision, as well as how does he incorporate play in his life outside of video games. Obviously, as we've discussed previously, there are a lot of options to play, what that looks like in your life. And so how has Charlie kind of used that in his life?
In a brief way, yeah, I'm just chilling. I forgot how much I love chopping down trees. In video games.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. So we will start off where we have started the last couple episodes of this show. But what forms of play do you prefer? Is it sports, video games, board games, outdoor activities, etc.?
Yeah, outdoor activities. I think it's been outdoor activities since early 2020, before I moved to LA. And then it's more like, sort of people that came to my life, and just sort of how the group of people I was with changed and evolved over the years. It ended up leading to 2020, where we're like, when we're getting together, instead of like just sitting around the house playing video games, because we can do that from away while we're at each other's home. We're at our own homes. We can play video games no matter what we want, no matter how often we want on computers and stuff on the internet. So when we get together, for a while it was like, oh, let's get together and play like Mario Kart or something. But then in like 2020 it became, let's get together and like go to the dunes, or go to Starved Rock, or go to I don't know, golf. And that's partially what made moving to LA a little bit difficult at first, because I didn't have anyone to do that with. So like basically I'd go out to like Griffith Park or something alone, which is just not the same as going with a group.
There is something pleasant and nice to be able to have that space on your own, but when that's your only option, it can be very daunting and overwhelming, especially when you've just made this massive move. But in terms of that, what are some benefits that you've seen in your life because of your play habits?
Well, like, instead of just, sitting around doing, no offense, but a 9 to 5, I'm actually doing things I enjoy, because that's, to me, what play is. I'm really good at doing what I like, and I have that motivation and that drive and all that. So, like, I'm not gonna pursue something I don't want to do, and what I want to do is play to me, and that's what I would rather do with my life than just spend it all. Like, I could make like very, very little money, but still be like in filmmaking and playing, and I would be a lot happier than if I was making a crap ton of money.
So you're very much of the perspective of pursue your dreams first and foremost.
Well, no, you gotta follow your dreams. And a wise gentleman by the name of James DeAngelis of Sugar Pine 7 fame said, "Follow your dreams or else, because you have to."
Yeah, and I think that really ties into what we talked about last week with our guest Andrew, of kind of setting goals, and whether it was realistic or follow your dreams. And it was a combination of the both of those, of you want to create goals that align with your dreams, but are also, realistic to achieve. What are some negative effects that you see in your life because of your gaming habits?
I don't feel very productive when I'm playing them. I used to feel a little bit productive when I was like making YouTube videos playing games, because I'm like, oh, this will go somewhere, and then it doesn't. Like now, whenever I play a video game, even if I'm recording it, I feel very unproductive. Could rather be making like a short film or hosting an event like the upcoming murder mystery video, which is actually something that I had a lot of fun and I'm having a lot of fun making. Like, I'm not saying that gaming is a bad thing. Gaming was a big part of my life. Like, I've been playing games since I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, starting with like Pokemon and Mario Kart and all that.
Like, cutting back on your gaming habits has opened up a lot of other opportunities for you to engage in, and you're actually doing stuff that you enjoy more than playing video games. That's all right. I will spend my time talking to the people in the bar. Hello, everybody. Oh, there's an arcade here. I feel like I knew this. Buy a Joja Cola for 75 gold? That's a ripoff. Goodness.
So we finished filming that, and now things have sort of slowed down a little bit. I'm getting into like the prep work for my thesis film, Melatonin Dreams. So like I'm creating the storyboard, casting.
And for those who don't know, could you explain what a thesis film is?
It's basically like the big project you make at the end of your film school time at film school.
Thank you.
So I'm starting the prep work for Melatonin Dreams, but since I'm not actually filming until November, there's not like that much of an urgency for it. I'm not in that much of a rush. Basically, it's just like so things have slowed down a little bit, and I've like it's given me the time to think about games again.
Yeah.
But it was like once things slowed down, I'm sitting there on my I'm sitting there on my bed, waking up in the morning of like where I'm like, I don't have anything to do. Any like urgent responsibilities to do. I don't want to play video games. Because normally whenever in the past when I find myself in that situation, I want to play video games. I'm like, oh, I'll play Stardew Valley or Minecraft or Fallout or whatever. Yeah. But now I'm just like, I've been so happy and excited about what I'm doing, and during that time, without even realizing it, like video games had nothing to do with it. And I wasn't thinking about how badly I wanted to play video games. Besides that, in the last 2 years, I found that I've been at my happiest and most motivated when I'm outside doing things with friends, or like working towards creative projects and videos and films and stuff. I'm at my happiest and most motivated when video games aren't in the picture. So that, I don't know. And like I said, I'm not trying to like say you shouldn't play video games at all. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. But it's not really my thing anymore.
There are times and seasons in life where gaming can be a huge part of your life, but also there are times where you need to take a step away. And I think you've kind of been a testimony to that, of you recognized that the lack of gaming brought about a change that you were happy with.
Want to see what I spent money on recently?
What did you spend money on recently? Oh, that's fancy.
I have all the options.
He has all of the options.
Oh dear.
This is when I lose Charlie. He's going down.
Now that gaming is like very, very low on those priorities, I'm much more willing to do so many other things. Yeah, and like, for a while I was saying like, oh, I'll just change it to where I only play video games on weekends when I'm not busy. And now it's like, if I want to talk to friends, even if they're distant, I'll just hop in a Discord call. I don't have to play a video game with it. Got a game.
That is a very large.
It's got a mask on it. I think I can grab the camera case of the video. I can see it from here. Okay. So his name's Gilbert. He's made of cardboard. He's wearing the mask, but improperly. He's improperly wearing a mask below his nose.
So kind of back to the conversation about engaging with others, and again, this has kind of been the theme of our conversation of how you do that. the ability to engage with others has definitely been heightened since you've taken a step away from video games.
It's like life is sort of like a series of ups and downs, right? So like right now I'm at a very high point, I think. I think because of that, this is like, I don't know if this is going to be drawing a long line from point A to point B.
Yeah.
But I think because of that self-esteem boost, that confidence boost, I'm ready to be like, I'm more ready to be a little bit alone because, like, you know, I'm no longer, whenever I'm alone, I haven't been, the last couple of days, I haven't been with people 24/7. So when I'm alone, I haven't been thinking about, oh, am I really that good of a director? Am I really going to do that well? Am I really capable of anything? And now I'm just like, all right, let's do the next project. I'm ready for this. Let's bring it to me. Bring it on.
And that is, and no, I don't think that's a long line to draw at all. I mean, it is, in the mental health world, it is validated that when we have healthy attachments and healthy engagements with other people, our own self-esteem rises with that. When we have that ability to connect with other people and develop those healthy relationships that encourage us and strive us and push us forward, we ourselves feel better about what we do. We feel more confident. So what you've talked about is a very, like a testimony to and evidence for that. It is exciting to kind of hear how you've been able to utilize your chosen form of play as your career, really. Do you have any tips on how to maintain relationships?
For me, I find that, you know, you can say the cliche, stereotypical, be yourself. And I mean, that works, but you know, that's the best way to maintain relationships with people who are worth your time. If you have to be someone you aren't, or you could be like me, where you're kind of just like water and you take the shape of whatever's around you. I find that works a lot for me. Now, I know that sounds really like, you know, it's not exactly the best advice that you typically hear from like your parents and other role models and all that. I get along with a lot of people very well. And, you know, there's some people I'd rather hang out with than others, but I'm capable of hanging out with a lot of different people. You gotta understand that people are different. And I think, you know, the advice that just be yourself is always, you know, it's useful to an extent, but also you gotta be willing to adapt to the fact that other people are different. And if it's someone worth maintaining a relationship with, like a professional partner, or just like, you know, mutual friends, and you don't want to, like, you know, make hangouts really awkward because you don't like this guy, but they're really good friends with a really good friend of yours. You got to learn how to adapt. You got to learn how to adapt and, you know, tolerate other people. Sometimes people are just so quick to knock other people out of their lives just because of one slight disagreement, when you never know what might happen if you keep that person around. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think it does. That you got to be willing to work to make relationships work. You got to be willing to put in the work yourself to understand other people, connect with other people, find common ground. Because I'm sure most people have at least one thing in common with most other people.
You don't necessarily need to change like the core of who you are in order to, you know, be liked by other people. Like that's not what you're advocating for. Is that you need to make sure that you fit into every single friend group in order to be loved. Like that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is that you need to let go of some of these hard, fast things that you draw very hard lines on, and you need to be willing to open up and say, you know what, it's okay that we don't agree on certain things or certain opinions of the world, but we can still be friends and we can still get along.
There are things that are objectively not good, like racism, for example. But aside, I'm talking about, like, you know, just general opinions. Like, but let's say if you like pancakes and someone else likes waffles, and you hate that about that person, you can't stand that person likes waffles, then you automatically just block out a large chunk of people from someone you could possibly connect with. You could otherwise be like best friends. You could like the same everything else, but if there's that one deal breaker, and again, I'm not talking about like objectively bad things, but I'm just talking about like things that are like so mild that like, why does this difference matter? Know who you are. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, embrace other people, but also know who you are. Because like, I know I just said like, you know, consider being water, taking the form or whatever, but there's like, you know, at times you gotta also just know who you are.
Love people, listen to people. As we say here, always keep learning and keep playing. Just continue pursuing what you love doing, but manage it. Keep track of it. Make sure it's not consuming your life and you're potentially missing out on some really cool opportunities. So Charlie, is there anything that we should know about you in regards to finding you on the social medias, on YouTube, things like that? Anything that we can promote for you?
My name is just Charlie Sitarski on every single platform. I'm literally the only Charlie Sitarski, so as long as you know how to spell my last name, which you should be able to based on the title of this video, I'd imagine. Melatonin Dreams is my thesis film, and it'll be premiering at some point and hopefully making it to festivals.
All right, well, Charlie, thanks again for being willing to sit down with me and just have this conversation in regards to relationships, having to put gaming aside for a time being. But yeah, that will wrap it up for today's episode of the Subliminal Show. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let go of things if they're not that important. Love people, care about people.
Make work fun.
Make work fun. And yeah, I think that wraps it up. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.